Tier list Mythic Plus update. Hey guys, Petko here. 28th of March today, and for the past couple weeks, been getting changes pretty much every single week. And this time around, once again, we haven't updated the tier list for the past couple of 2 class updates. So I decided, you know what, because the season has already started, plus we got so many changes, time to talk about it, make a video, and see exactly what's happening. Alright, so there are several things I want to speak about. The first one, I've already pre-made the tier list, so it doesn't take an hour. It's gonna take 10 minutes, and I'm gonna try to keep it TLDR stuff, okay? So here's the already updated on the tier list. Now, I know you have a lot of questions, and I'm here to answer all of them. Now, the very first question you guys are gonna ask me, why the fuck have I put items in a question mark, and previously it was located in a, I believe it was upper B, lower A tier. Now, Arms has gotten many buffs for the past couple weeks. Most notoriously was the plus 15% aura nerf on top of some additional buffs on the side. And I have played with several different Arms warriors. I'm talking about like a high rated Arms warriors. And all of them did exactly the same thing. Their AoE damage was way better than any of us could have anticipated. Even the warriors mains weren't even swapping to Arms, they were just playing Fury. But, oh boy, I'm gonna give you some examples here. I played today with Biz, if you guys know who that is. Biz is like a one-trick warrior player who's been playing warrior for many years. And I played with him for a bit, and dude, look at the difference between me and him in like pure AoE output. Like his AoE is roughly like between 15 and 20% better than I am, even though of course he's like 270 at level, he gets like a Brewmaster buff, he gets like Wind Fury. Still, even if disregard this, Arm's AoE is very competitive, which I'm pretty happy to say so. Now there is obviously a disadvantage to that, and that's their single target. If I do scroll over and I get to show you the full boss fight, I mean, on a single target he does do, you know, let's just say a little bit of a tank DPS here and there sometimes, but that's only pure ST though. On a 2 target he does better, on 3 targets he does better, and obviously he does play Colossus, so Wind Fury helps a lot with the rage and etc. So overall, I was pretty surprised with the Arms performance, and every single theory crafter that I spoke with about Arms Warrior throughout Beta Cycle, and every single player that I've played with during Beta Cycle, and including myself, I never reached the results that we get to emulate right now, at least after the most recent changes. And also Arms Warrior are getting a buff next week on single target, although not really as significant, but still it is probably not voting. My music is a bit too loud, sorry. So that's why I'm putting in a question mark, because I have no idea where this motherfucker is, because the AoE is like S+, but then the single target is like B, you know? That's why I put it for now for question mark, but I'm here to tell you, if you're warrior main, Arms is very solid, especially in mass AoE/AoE, although Fury is a better, flexibly better everywhere, specifically on single target. Most definitely Fury will perform much better, which is an area sometimes where you just get to wipe. Speaking about the rest of the classes, first of all, on S+ tier, as obviously have told you guys before this, Brewmaster, Restoration Druid, absolute staple right now in Mythic Plus. These are the go-to tanks and healers. Obviously, you've seen a lot of high keys done with them. We've seen a lot of high keys done with Devourer as well. Devourer very strong currently, no key levels. The burst sustain is there. The private damage is there. Tankiness is there. And overall, very solid pick. Ellie is also performing just as I expected. Very strong contender everywhere. The output is great. The utility is one of the best in the game so far. So I'm pretty happy. I am promoting Unholy to S tier simply due to output and how tanky you are. Honestly, this right now looks to be a very good caster comp. Now there are some differences that, for example, can get into there. I'm gonna speak about that in a bit. But when it comes down to output and overall value, I believe Unholy is likely a very good candidate to be S tier right now. So looking super solid for Unholy. Yes, they've been getting buffs as well. For the people that do not know, they got massively nerfed, but then after that nerf, the changes to them got reverted. So hence why I believe this looks to be a very stable comp, at least as a casters. Physical comp is looking to be just as good. For example, you play Brewmaster, you play Restoration Shaman, you play Feral Druid, you play either Arms or Fury. Last DPS can be a fit. I've seen Brewmasters, by the way, recently popping off. Because remember, BM Hunters have been getting small buffs here and there. They're gonna get another 4% buff coming in next week. So the stonks of BM Hunter rising up, you're likely looking at A plus tier at least when it comes down to damage. Unfortunately, utility-wise, not looking that great. But obviously, as soon as next week hits, I'm definitely gonna promote BM Hunter to A plus tier, falling from 8 because of the 4% buff. So overall, physical comp looking to be very strong. You can also play Prot Warrior with Mistweaver. Mistweaver is doing amazing as well. Just like I told you, current DPS output on Mistweaver is looking to be the best in the game. The HP is looking to be very strong. Utility looking to be not so great, but overall, every other aspect is doing amazing. Now, I am, when I do mistakes, I always man up to my mistakes. I never back down and be like, I'm not like a person to hide away from everything. I am no Jesus. I can't predict the future, but there's a few things that are definitely wrong. The first one is gonna be Retribution Paladin. I've placed Retribution Paladin on 8 tier, and oh boy was I wrong. Retri Paladins, following their changes done to them the past week, have been doing way better than what I expected, and I was seeing them now everywhere pop up, although their performance doesn't look to be like, absolutely S plus domination. It's looking to be very strong. Very, very strong. Both in single target and in AoE, although the prior target damage outside of major cooldowns is pretty much non-existent. Bit of a patty spec, but can't deny it. It's looking to be very good. And you can play it in both hybrids, physical comps, and also caster comps. So thumbs up for that one. Sadly for the Demonology Warlock, so for the past 2 weeks, they've got small nerf plus some hot fixes which resulted in a nerf again. Wicked Reaping, I believe, got nerfed. So overall, the value of the Demonology Warlock, including the lack of party buff, have dropped, and that's why we're demoting them from S to A tier. Everything else remains the same. Both Frost Mage and Arcane are super solid, I believe, even though Arcane doesn't look to be that impressive in raiding. Mythic Plus is a lot better, but you can play both depending on the key level, key difference, and the party you're playing. Augmentation gets to be promoted to A plus tier. Honestly, although they did get nerfed twice before the season started, I really didn't think that their true output would be comparative to some of the classes on A plus tier, but definitely I was underestimating the powers to augmentation. They don't look to be, once again, S tier contender, but most definitely better than A tier, what we originally have planned for them. I think that's about it. Now, I promoted the Restoration Shaman because for the past 2 weeks, they've been getting also small buffs here and there, specifically buffing their AoE output healing, and last week they buffed them by 3% aura buff, I believe, last week. So that's a two minor buffs in a row, back to back. So plus physical comp looking to be super strong, as I just predicted. So definitely the stonks to Restoration Shaman are going up just because of this, hence why the A plus tier contender. On the A tier, I am demoting Balance Druid. Honestly, a lot of dungeons right now have so many mobs with low HP, like Pit of Sauron, for example, like Academy, for example, like Seat and Magister Terras. There's so many keys where the mobs are dying way too quick just because of the low HP they have, and you can't really capitalize on that. And I feel like because of the design of those mobs, Balance Druid is kind of cooked, right? So Balance performs really well once the mobs live long enough. The problem is most of the dungeons, because of those low HP mobs, they will die quite often. Although on the ones that they are living, I think Balance is doing pretty solid as well. But again, I think I overestimated the powers a bit to them, so hence why I'm demoting them from A plus to A. Shadow Priest got buffed. It gets to be now one of the top A plus 8 tier contenders. They got around 8.5% AoE buff, which is gonna account for, I think, 6.5% dungeon slice increase. I was reading the Shadow Priest Discord recently. They've got also a better execute damage plus slightly better single target by like 1%. That's about it. Just like I told you about Hunter is still looking to be solid, but the Hydra build just doesn't perform as good or compared to low level keys, because once again, during cooldowns, you do big bomb, big damage, sure, but once you're outside of those major cooldowns, I don't think you're as good on those high level keys, or at least above average keys. Right now, I mean, I've done a 17 so far. It's not like super high, but like With neither of the hunters that I've played with did perform, great. I mean, I feel like BM Hunter is just doing better. On locks, BM Hunter is doing better, and in actual keys, I've seen them do better. So that's why I feel like just because of this, you're still gonna be great for like average level keys, but the higher you climb, it just the lower the values. I feel like Bear got nerfed now. I feel like Bloody K is better than Bear. Paladin still squishy enough to be considered A+ tier. Presivoker, by the way, just like I told you, even though they got nerfed a little bit last week, I still feel like because of their strong HPS performance, likely a better candidate than Holy Priest. Holy Priest damage, however, way better than Presivoker, but once you get to above average key level, healing is gonna be make or break in most of the keys. There's so many heavy HPS checks this season, so I feel like Presivoker value most definitely going stonks up here. For Decay got a second buff in a row. Now I feel like they're gonna be climbing from next week onward. They're gonna even do better than this week. So potentially the value of Frost Decay is gonna climb higher, maybe even to A+ tier. Not decided yet. Destro remains super strong AoE contender, but single target pretty trash. Windwalker Monk doesn't look to be that bad, but right now both Mistweaver and Brewmaster looking to be insanely good, so the value of Windwalker is not really there yet to be invited, even in a Prot Warrior hybrid comms. Affliction Warlock does also solid AoE, however the ST looking to be pretty bad. Discipline Priest looks to be pretty bad healing wise in Mythic Plus, although pretty good rate. I think that's it. There's no other changes done to them. I think that's it, guys. That is the update of 28th of March. If there are more changes, I will let you guys know, update you again. Once again, I always update this on Icy Veins as soon as there are some changes and I get to have some testing. So by next couple hours, once this video is out, I will be also updating that on websites. Hopefully all of this makes sense to you, and all of the update here has helped you determine how the classes performed so far a couple of days into the season. And I think there's one more changes coming likely as per Blizzard announcement, so potentially we might see some further tuning ahead. But that's pretty much what I think the classes will look like down the line. I'm pretty happy with the predictions so far, not gonna lie. There are a few specs that I definitely got off once again. I would say likely Arms Warrior and Retribution Paladin are the only two specs that I regret placing lower. Retribution Paladin most definitely is A+ tier, and Arms Warrior I had it on B tier before the buffs. After the buffs, I didn't really bother ranking them because the season already came out. But right now, I can already see how powerful they are in AoE, so that changed my perspective. Anyway, let me know if you guys have any feedback, any questions, or anything that can help me improve this. And thank you once again for watching. Happy Saturday. I want to see you guys on stream tomorrow. Bye for now.